Psychology. Today we'll be discussing chapter number 9 and 10. Few of the topics are being taken from chapter number 9, pro-social behavior, and some of the topics are being taken from the chapter number 10, aggression. So let's go ahead. Outline of this video we are going to discuss why people help, what are the motivators that compel us to help someone, responding to emergency, how people help in emergency, in which situation people are ready to help. In a lot of situation people are looking at the people who are suffering but they are not supporting and helping. In what situation? Factors that increase and decrease the help tendency. And the final thoughts, the pro-social behavior and aggression opposites or not. Then we discuss something about personality and gender in aggression. What is bullying? This is one of the workplace aggression. The prevention control techniques about control the aggression. So let's go ahead. What is pro-social behavior? Once we say the pro means towards. Pro-social means towards the society. We have the behavior that is supporting the society. We sometimes call pro-social behavior is helping others, helping the society. So what is the definition of this? So let's go ahead and see. Pro-social behavior is voluntary behavior that is carried out to benefit another person with no immediate benefit to the helper. In this situation, we need to focus on that the helper is not going to get the immediate effect and or immediate benefit of that. In our religion, we have a lot of beliefs that whenever we are going to help someone, Allah, identifies angels for us who will support us and who will help us. These are the somehow the different concept that we possess being in any religion. So we feel that if we help someone, Allah will help us. So in this situation we do not get immediate benefit, but we perceive the benefit from Allah in different contexts, in different religions to their own givers. So let's see ahead. A lot of people throughout the globe engage in pro-social behavior. Even did you know that Angelina Jolie donated 6.8 million to charity last year? And this also talk about the pro-social behavior. One of the famous, charity raised campaign was done by the Hope for Haiti now. So this was one of the most famous, disaster fund raised campaign, which was carried by global singers. They sang a song and they raised a donation which is the highest one donation ever collected, which is almost $58 million. So this is also a pro-social behavior. I have given some sort of details about this campaign, Hope for Haiti now. This is a global benefit for earthquake relief fund, and there you can check out the link of the YouTube where you can find that how a lot of singers together collected and sung a song together and raised and collected the donation for the victims. So this was the highest collected donation. What are our motivations to helping others? Sometimes we help, sometimes we add, we contribute, we serve, we packing, we relieve, we contribute. What are motivators that motivate us to help? Let's see ahead. There are two forms of helping. One form is we help others because the ultimate benefits is going to be enjoyed by us. Sometimes we help in order to benefit the recipient of the help. So let's see. One form of help is egoistic helping, which says that ultimate goal of helping is to increase his or her own welfare. The second concept is altruistic helping, in which ultimate goal of helper is to increase others welfare without expecting anything in return. So these are two different concepts. One is helping yourself and one is helping the person who's going to a recipient of the help. Why people help? What are their motives? One of the hypotheses says that empathy, altruism. What is empathy? Whenever we feel bad about something, we try to put our feet in someone else's shoes, and we try to feel the pain that they are suffering from. Once we are going to have that empathy, when we help them, so it feels good to help others. So pro-social behavior is motivated solely for the purpose of increasing the welfare for the recipient. Empathy, altruism, it feels good to help others. Empathy, the capacity to be able to experience others' emotional states, feel sympathetic towards them and take their perspective and help them. This is one of the concept called the mirror neurons. This is the biological foundation of the empathy in our brain. In our brain, there is one part of the brain which called the mirror neurons. Whenever we are trying to experience and feel this sympathetic and emotional state about others, what they are feeling, and we wanted to feel that feeling in our brain, that feeling is actually in our brain called the mirror neuron. We wanted to create the same feelings that other person is feeling when they are in bad situation. So this is the helping other research. Actually, in biological way, empathy is being created in our mind by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one question now arises, if there is one sort of automatic mirror neurons in our brain when we are going to feel the empathy, so is it automatic to feel others? So research says no, it's not automatic to feel the empathy. We need to give focus, we need to give some sort of trainings, we need to attend some trainings, or we need to feel ourselves and we need to take ourselves in that place, then we can feel that, otherwise we cannot. We need to train our brain to actively feel the pain of others. So this is the mirror neurons. There are a lot of people who do not feel empathy with others, so they have some sort of concept, we call them disorder, that is mentioned in your book. When the person is not having the empathy, so they have some sort of brain disorder, that is known. Helpfulness does not arise automatically, so we need to do efforts, we need to do practice in order to feel the empathy for others. Why people help? What are the other motives? The other hypothesis is negative state relief hypothesis. One hypothesis says we relieve from the negative state when we support or help others. Individuals experiencing negative emotions are motivated to help in order to achieve the relief from such emotions. Let's suppose you got very low CGPA this semester. It's a suppose, okay? Don't take it personal. And you are feeling bad and you are in a negative state of mind. Now suddenly you find someone who has got F. Now you try to place yourself in his or her situation, and you went to them and support them emotionally and try to help them out in passing their course. So whenever we are going to support that person, so you are ultimately going to remove yourself from negative state and you are going to feel good. So this is the negative state relief hypothesis. In other words, we do a good things in order to stop feeling bad. So sometimes when we do help, we do not feel bad, we feel good. Other hypothesis is empathy joy hypothesis. This says we feel happy. Helping in response to empathy is motivated neither by selfless concern for the welfare of others nor by reduction of the personal distress, but rather by the joy one experiences when observing that other person need has been met. Sometimes when we share our half plate food to the hungry one, they says thank you, they smile to us, we feel joy, we feel happy that their need is being met. A lot of parents spend a lot money on their kids, buy their new clothes. They feel the joy, they feel the happiness. This is how they are going to help them. So the joy of helping others around the world. Research findings indicate that people who help others, they feel happy, they feel joy. Other method, other form of helping, other reasons of help is competitive altruism. What is competitive altruism? Sometimes people do help because they wanted to raise their own status and reputation. Let's see, the view suggests one important reason that people help others to boost their own status and reputation, and in this way ultimately bring a large benefit to them. You find a lot of donors who support organization. Whenever they arrive in the university, they get a lot of reputation, their status is being increased. So this is the competitive altruism. Why alumnus sometimes make huge gift to their colleges. This is the competitive altruism in action. A lot of Harvard graduates and a lot of different graduates, support their own universities because they wanted to increase their own status. So this is one of the example. The famous the famous person who make the large donation called T. Boone. He actually donated to the university almost $1 billion to the university, and this actually increased the status and the sort of status and the sort of reputation in the university. Maybe he was so kind and the sort of more generous that he supported, but one of the reason also he also increased his own status and reputation, like Bill Gates have, and a lot of other big and rich people donate in order to increase their own reputation and status. That is the competitive altruism. Helping is consistent with the evolutionary theory. What is evolutionary theory? Need of the human. We wanted to survive, that's why we are helping. So this is the reciprocal helping. An evolutionary principle stating this: people expect that anyone helping another will help that favor return to someone in future. So we help other in order to get the reciprocal helping. The other theory is the kin selection. We help our own blood relatives because this will increase the odds that their genes will be transmitted to the subsequent generations. Sometimes we wanted to help our close one and relatives, our siblings, our brothers, our uncles. Sometimes even we don't have blood relationship with them, but we engage in helping them because we expect the reciprocal relationship with them. We expect they will help us in future as well. So these are some of the questions for the discussion. What is prosocial behavior? Recall an instance where you displayed prosocial behavior and one where you witness another person behave. According to the competitive altruism approach, how does engaging in helpful behavior boost one's status and reputation in the society? You need to give example, right? Imagine that you are in a situation where you have to choose between helping a dear friend and a cousin who is very close to you. What would be your response and why? You need to justify. So till now we are going to end this topic. So we will be coming with the next topic in next video. So good luck.